and I've just smacked myself in the head. That spanner has just come off and took me clean. What is going on, people, and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you watched last week's video, we did plenty of stuff to this car. We wrapped the rear diffuser in gloss black, we installed R20 side skirts with the extensions from Mk6 Design, an aggressive fin style diffuser, and a Mk6 Design spoiler extension. But that took a big chunk out of the budget, and we were left with just below £3,000. Now, in today's video, we're taking an even bigger chunk out of it because we have plenty to do in this video. So without further ado, let's get straight into what we need to do first, and that is repairing that door. Now, if you watched before, we did get the dent sorted. However, we didn't get one dent sorted, and that was at the top of the passenger door. Now, it's been really bugging me, and I don't want to wrap this car. As I said in the last video, we are wrapping this car, and I don't want to wrap it with a big dent on the door, so we're going to get that repaired and painted. So let's head down to the shop now and get that done. So it's time to get rid of this horrible dent. First, we need to remove everything from the door to get it ready for paint, starting with the door card, removing this cover here to give us access to the 330 Torx bolts holding the door card up. Then we can remove the bottom bolt and give it a good pull, and it should release from the door, not forgetting to unclip the handle as well. Then we can remove the mirror, then the weather strip, and then the handle, which is held on by this little moon clip here. Once you've pulled it, it will release the cap, and then you can slide the handle out. And finally, remove the door bolts to remove the door, and there you have your door off, ready to be repaired and painted. Conveniently, there was a couple more little bits on the door, so we got them sorted while it was off the car as well. Once the repairs are all done and the door is ready, it's time to put some primer on. And there you have it, repair all done. Now it's time to mask it up and get it ready to be painted. And there you have it, door painted, ready to be built back up with no more damage. Now we do everything in reverse. Weather strip first, then the mirror, then we can slide the handle back in and drop the cap back in, not forgetting to push the clip to secure it. And finally, plug the mirror back in and drop the door card back on, bolting everything up and dropping the covers back in to cover all the bolts. And there you have it, door built up, painted, looking absolutely perfect. Now all that's left to do is clear the airbag fault because we took the door off and we're all done. And next we're finally doing the service on this car, engine and gearbox. However, we aren't able to film as we had to drop the car off in working hours, but I was able to get a quick shot of the parts here. Now, we did end up getting the engine service done, but unfortunately we couldn't get the gearbox service done because you need to pump the gearbox fluid up through the drain plug, and we didn't have the pump, so one of them is on order. But fortunately we did get the engine service done, so that's a bonus that was heavily needed because it hasn't been done in 2 years. So engine service done, we'll go back up another day to get the gearbox service, but now it's time to put some modifications on the car because I've been waiting to do this modification for a while and I'm excited for it. So we are putting a Golf R bumper on this, and that is what is in this bag right here. Now, no, this is not a body, this is the Golf R front bumper because I think they look the best, but I don't want to hear anyone telling me that, oh, it's becoming a Golf R rep, because it isn't. So this conveniently came after we painted the door because I had no idea when this was coming, even though it says overnight up there, it definitely wasn't. But this is getting painted today. We're going to take it to the shop because I really want to get this on because this is going to really transform the front end of this car. So we need to get this to the shop and get something else painted for it. But first, let's get this thing open and show you exactly what this thing looks like. Now, before I show you the bumper, I want to show you this. Now, this is what's really cool about this bumper. They give you everything with it. They give you the grills, they give you a number plate holder, they give you the center grille, and they even give you the top plinth that sits on the top of the bumper there, which is absolutely incredible because I was going to buy that before and I never got around to doing it, but this comes with it, so it's absolutely perfect. So let's get this out and show you what this looks like. And there you have it. So the bumper is literally just ABS plastic. It's come primed. I have noticed there is a scratch here, but it's not the worst. The body shop can fix that. I am expecting a few fitment problems because this is a replica bumper, of course, and replicas do always have some slight issues with corners or whatever. So I'm expecting a few, but this should realistically be actually quite good because this is plastic and not fiberglass. So Let's get this to the body shop, get it painted in black, get it colour matched and get it on the car. I'm really excited to see this. So let's take it to the body shop. So first thing we need to do is get the bumper off. Now the bumper is held on by multiple screws underneath here. You do have bolts in here, 25 torques again, and there should be one, yeah, right up there. Now this bumper has had a repair and I'm kind of worried to take it off because it's not fitting correctly there and it's had some weird stuff over in this corner. So let's get it off and see what's behind it. So to get the bumper off, go around the bumper, removing all the 25 Torx bolts, including the ones up into the wings, and then you can move on to the bolts under the bonnet holding on the grille. Now if you're ever struggling with getting these grills off, there is just 4 20 Torx on the top, and then you literally just pull it out like that. And then that will expose these bolts which hold the bumper on just here. So we've got a slight issue. This is leaking out a lot, and that's because it's actually broken, because a lot of this stuff is glued together, as you can see here. That is previous repair. These are all cable tied. That is not how they should have been from the factory. This is broke over here, which is fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not too concerned about this because all of this is getting replaced. It's literally none of this is staying on the car, so it's all getting replaced, but it's just a shame this has had a previous repair in the past on this corner somewhere. I'm not entirely sure what they've done, but it hasn't been done too well. As you can see, there is glue in there. It is what it is. You get that with older cars. But before we do that, this of course is broken, so I've got it off and it's just clearly snapped there. So I'm going to get the original bits off because I do have to put this pipe in on the new bumper because it does have washer jets. So I'm going to get all this off. I'm going to connect it back up to here and hopefully glue it all back together and get it working again. That is the plan. Hopefully this goes well. And of course we are going to have to change these as well because we're going to have to replace them onto the new bumper. I don't think I actually need to change anything else on this bumper because this is all GTI parts, and obviously we do have all the Golf R parts down there. So I'll get these 2 washer jets off and then this bumper should essentially be stripped. So luckily I was able to repair this and this. As you can see, I've got the glue there, and that saves me basically buying an entire new one. This is all fixed, it's not leaking anymore, so that's great for me because I don't need to buy one. But whilst I'm waiting for the bumper to be painted, I thought I would fix my squeak. Now, I figured out what it was in the end. It's actually this bush right here. As you can see, it is absolutely perished, and the other side isn't looking too hot either. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change that while I've got the car in the air. It's convenient. I have bought 2 new ones. These are very cheap off eBay. Hopefully it does the trick. And I'm probably going to end up changing both of them just to be safe, because if that one's squeaking out, that one is bound to be squeaking at some point. So let's get these changed and hopefully it doesn't give me too many issues. First things first, we need to get the wheels off. And by the way, I absolutely hate these wheels. They're all corroded, they look awful. So I've ordered some new ones. Drop it in the comments what you think I've ordered. I think they're really going to suit this car because I don't think these look very good at all. So put it in the comments, what do you think I've ordered for this car? So next we have to take out this nut here with this bolt here. They are 18 mils, and then of course you have this big bad boy here and then the same over here. Now this back bolt actually didn't give me any issues, it loosened straight off. However, the other one, not the same story. I could not get this bolt loose. You can literally see my feet on the suspension, that's how hard I was pulling. This is literally the tightest. I've never had a nut and bolt so tight in my life. I'm literally hanging off this with double spanners, and I've pulled it like this and it has slipped off. I've essentially got it like that. So I'm pulling it and I've come off it and it's gone bang. And I've just smacked myself in the head with the spanner. This is gonna be a nightmare. And this hurts, by the way, like bad. But I eventually did get it off, but I find you can't drop the bolt out unless you release the roll bar out of the way, which is held on with these 2 spline bolts here. Once you've undone them, you can wiggle the bolt out from underneath. And here are the new ones. Weirdly, they are slightly different in shape, and the ends are a little bit different as well, but they are the same length, so I'm hoping these are going to work. We're going to slide the new arm into its slot, drop the bolt in the back to hold it, and drop the other bolt in the front. Then we can tighten everything up, including the roll bar, hopefully not smacking myself in the face again. Oh wait, here's a slow motion replay of me doing exactly that. This is the exact moment the ratchet flew out of my hand and hit me in the face. This is actually a joke. That spanner should come off and hit me clean in the face. That's twice. What is wrong with me? I've got this. Now this. What's wrong with me? Right, now that one's changed. I literally do not have the mental capacity or the forehead room to do the other side because I literally haven't got the mental capacity to do another one and possibly damage. Look at my eye, look at my head. That's done. That's all I need to do because that's the only one that was squeaking. So let's get the wheels back on, and the bumper is painted now, so we can get the bumper back on as well. Get the wheels on, and hopefully this car is done. Hopefully I don't cause any more damage to my face either. So now we've got the bottom arm on. Now it's time to get the front bumper back on. Let's do it. But before we put the new bumper on, we need to build it up. And here are the bits that we need to go on it. And we need to start with the fog lights. But I did notice the plugs didn't fit properly and they were too long. So we trimmed the ends down to where they needed to be to fit. And they came out perfectly. And they work a treat and are seriously bright. Next, we need to take the front grille off and remove the VW badge, which is held on by these tabs here. Then I realised you could have just twisted it off, so I reinstalled it in the same way, twisting it in this direction. Let me know what you guys think about this GTI badge as well, because this one does come with the Golf R badge here, but I don't want to put the Golf R one on because then it becomes a Golf R replica, which it isn't. So we can either go clean and leave this like this and have the little holes here, or we put the GTI one on there. Let me know what you think. So here it is all painted, ready to be built, and that is straight out of the gun, by the way, no polishing. That is some crazy talent. And as I said before, the fog lights go in first. They slot into their place and then are bolted up from the back, as you can see here. Then we need to attach the backing to the fog lights around, which just clips into place. Then we can slide it into its position on the bumper, making sure all the tabs line up so it fits in place correctly. Then of course repeat it for the other side. So there we have the bumper all built up. I just need to put these bits on for the washer jets. And of course, I do need to drill the holes for the parking sensors because this didn't come with it. So we do have a tool and I'll get that done now. And then we can stick the rest of the bits on. Now, unfortunately, wasn't able to get the sensors in because there just isn't enough room on the bumper where the sensors need to go to get the sensor brackets on. As you can see here, this is where they need to sit. And this is how much room we have to fit these. So I'll have to figure out another way where I'm going to put them later on, but for now we'll still put the washer jet tubing on and keep the sensors to one side so we can get this bumper on. Now finally, we're getting it on the car. Firstly, make sure you're happy with where it is before you put any bolts in. Once you are, we need to go around the car, putting all the 25 torque screws in, on the sides, the bottom, and of course dropping the new grille into its place and bolting that up as well. And there you have it, people. The front bumper is on and that looks 10 times better. It really helps the front end of that car. That was heavily needed. Of course, we do have some fitment issues as I expected, as you can see here, but I do have plenty of time to sort this out. So that's going to be done later on. And of course, we didn't get the front sensors on. Now, I'm not too bothered about sensors, besides every time I put it in reverse, it starts beeping off its head because we of course had the issue with getting the holes right. But that can all be done another time. I just wanted to get the bumper on, get it looking good, and as you can see, it definitely does look a lot better. Now we just need that front splitter, and I do really intend on getting a splitter, just not yet because we have more modifications going on, and it's these. It's the wheels. We have bought some new wheels, so let's go to the shop and get them on to match the new front bumper. Let's do it. So here are the new wheels, the box up. I'll show you what they look like in a second, but these are what we're taking off. We are gonna have to swap the tyres off these onto these, and I'll show you what these are. They are the same wheels that I had on a previous build, so you can kind of guess what they are. These are brand new wheels. Take a guess if I open these up. Of the LM, how sick are they? Polished lip is like a matte silver. They're gonna look so good instead of them which are corroding. That's probably the best wheel actually, but they're gonna look really good. They're both 18, so the tires should fit perfectly. I'm really hoping this looks really good as well because I've got a vision in my head of how I want this to look and I really don't want to be disappointed. So let's get these wheels on the car. So the first thing we need to do is remove all the wheels to get the original tires off, ready to go on our new set. And here they are, looking beautiful. Matte silver inserts with a polished lip. I can't wait to see these on. And And another cool little perk is they give you all of the wheel bolts, so you get fresh wheels and fresh wheel bolts. They even give you new center caps, essentially a sticker to go on these mirrored ones. And of course we took the space off the rear because they come off with the wheel. Now I don't know whether I'm going to put these back on because I kind of want to leave them off because I want to see the original fitment for these wheels and then work it back from there. So chances are these are going to stay off and we'll get another set. To get the tyres off, we need to use this crazy looking machine. First, it will pop the bead off the rim, then it will lift the edge over the top, allowing you to pull the tyre to the top of the wheel, so you can pull the bottom half of the tyre over the top. Then we can reuse that tyre on our new set, because they are the same size wheel. Sliding the tyre on, then pushing it down under the rim. Then we can pump it up, and there you have your tyre on, and on the rest of them as well. Now it's time to balance the wheel, and as you can see, we need a few weights on there. So Jason is going to put the weight where it signals to on the tyre machine, spin it again, and you're all done. And finally, we can put them on. Now it's finally time to see what they look like. We just need to put the centre caps in and torque them up. Now it's time.
I never answer to no, man, I still go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
So there you have it, the wheels are on, and that looks so good now. They really set off that car really well. Now, how much did these wheels cost me and the rest of the other bits that we put on this car? Now, in the last episode, we were all the way down to just below £3,000. And in this episode, we have spent a lot more than that. So, how much have I spent? So first things first, the door that we have painted, that cost me £190 because we did it at work. So it was a little bit cheaper. So we saved a little bit there. We also bought the rear arms to stop that squeaking at the back, which again, hasn't sorted it. So I need to get it back on a ramp. But they were only £25 and I only changed one. So it might be the other side squeaking. I don't know yet. But cheap and cheerful, £25 from eBay. The Golf R front bumper, now that cost me £300 and that included everything. The bumper, the trims, the plinth on the top, everything that came with it, the fog lights, that was all included in the price, £300. So I think that is a really good deal. £300 for everything. And again, it cost me £190 to get that painted. And last of all, the wheels. Now these are essentially a replica wheel of the BBS LM. They are Dare LM's own brand. They are a style of wheel. They are my favourite style of wheel. I don't know if you guys like them, but I think they look really good on this car. And they were really cheap compared to BBS's, which are around £3,000 to £4,000. Now these costed me £600. £600 for style wheels that look this good is an absolute steal. So in total, we have spent £1,305. And that leaves us with £1,600 left of the budget. Now, I know exactly what this money is going on, and I'm sure you guys are going to really enjoy it. So, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and you subscribe to the channel, because we are on our way to 50,000 subscribers. So, hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.